Today I am going to touch on the importance of rest. I'm going to maybe speak on one or two lines around that. However, this is where I actually want to start. It was a very laid back day for me today, and that's what prompted the idea of actually speaking on the importance of rest. However, before I actually even get to that, as I was out and about getting some of the few essentials for my garden, and as I was actually editing this video, something really sparked an interesting conversation in my head. Come with me to this beautiful place. This is actually where I get my plants when I don't have. Highly recommend. And I actually think that God must have been happiest when he created flowers. Yeah, it's just one of those things that normally happens when you play a lot in the garden. You just end up being in your head so much that you end up having all these wild ideas. And as I was at the nursery getting some of the stuff that I needed for the garden, and I was glancing through the flowers and how beautiful they were, and I just realized, or at least something came to mind, and I was like, I think God must have been happiest when he created flowers. Think about it. In this world of ours, which is filled with endless wonders, there is one creation that seems to capture the purest joy of creation itself, which is flowers. Just imagine for a moment a timeless place where the divine hand of creation molds color and brings it to form. If God was ever truly happiest, it must have been when he created flowers. At least that's what I think. Because the thing is, flowers are a language on their own. And they are so nicely woven into a tapestry of life, with each petal, each scent, and each color. They are silent. They are very, very silent, yet they speak so profound. They offer love, hope, comfort, and joy. I hope you can see that. I hope you can actually see God in that. Perhaps it was in these simple, quiet moments that God actually found happiness. Think of a rose, the symbol of passion and beauty. These daisies that are just so pure and unpretentious. When you look at daisies, they just bloom and they just be. And then there's sunflowers. I don't know if you've ever had a sunflower in your garden. Hence the reason why I actually got myself a sunflower as well, because it just reminds me of this one particular time when I was visiting my grandfather's farm a long time ago, and he had sunflowers. And the most beautiful thing about sunflowers is when you wake up in the morning and the sun is shining, they literally just open themselves up towards staring at the sun, and it's just the most beautiful thing you can ever witness with sunflowers. It's as if they are almost reaching towards the light, as if to remind us to follow hope somehow, And I just have this inkling to think that each flower it is designed not to just exist, but to inspire. There's a thing though about flowers, when you actually think about it. Flowers are fleeting, they are not permanent. They bloom, and in their blooming state, they dazzle and just when you are in awe of what they bring about, then they fade away. And maybe that's why they are so precious, because they are just not around forever. And just like our moments of joy, flowers are temporary, reminding us that beauty and happiness are meant to be cherished while they last. When we see a flower in the garden or growing wild by the roadside, we are reminded of that divine happiness, that divinity in it, that spark of joy that must have filled God's heart when He was creating flowers. And through flowers, it almost feels as if God whispers to us to slow down, and to see beauty in the simple, and to find happiness in life's quiet miracles. There's a friend of mine, may his soul rest in peace. He always used to say, never forget to just pause and smell a rose. And for some time I never understood what he meant by that, but then the more I chant into this journey, the more I just become present in the moment, it's really starting to make sense. That at times you just really need to just pause and smell the rose, because it's in that moment where you find the wonder, that which is God. That's just what came to mind for me today. To just see the magnificence of flowers, the beauty, the color, and just the liveliness about it, or about flowers. That almost reminds us that there is God in everything. And when you actually just look at flowers with the pure eye, you cannot help but be happy. Which is why I probably would say I think God was the happiest when He created flowers. What do you think? Anyway, that was just what came to mind for me today. However, coming back to the importance of rest. The thing is, in today's fast-paced world, it can be so easy to really feel guilty for resting, because it almost feels like whenever you rest, something passes you by. We are so caught up in having the fear of missing out, as if productivity is the only measure of our worth. But just like the garden needs rest to produce its best harvest, we also need moments of stillness to rejuvenate and come back stronger. Rest is in itself not a sign of weakness, but a necessary part of the growing process. So today I actually decided this was one of those days whereby I was just going to lay back and just take it easy and just be, just find some solitude and rest, because I also am learning to understand the importance of rest, of which I would also just like to say to you as well, don't be afraid to take time for yourself, whether it's a quiet moment in nature, a day off, or simply giving yourself permission to slow down. You are not losing time. You are gaining energy, creativity, and clarity that you need to continue growing. Remember that rest in itself is productive. Embrace it as an essential part of your journey, knowing that just like the garden, you will return to your goals with renewed strength.
Thank you very much.
I hope that this
Bye,
message
ladies.
sparked
Thank you
some
so
interest
much.
and made you maybe think, think once, think twice, and now and then instill the discipline of having rest in your life.
Hello, hi. Okay. It's day 12 today, and what happened was it was scorching hot the whole day. Round about 6:30 in the morning, it was just already super freaking hot. So the only thing I did was to water my patches, and I'm actually feeling a little bit sad for my plants because when it's too hot, it just does funniness to the leaves. However, it's nice and cool now. It's around about 5:30ish in the afternoon, so I'm going to actually do day 12's work. I'm gonna start now. Probably for the next coming hour, an hour and a half, I should be able to do something. However, I was out and about. I managed to get some of the essentials that I actually need for the yard, for the garden, sorry. I didn't quite get a lot, but it's a start. Got some bags of compost. I got some few seedlings that I was short of. Got my strawberry plants and some potting soil as well, so I'm quite happy about that. Got myself petunia flowers. Petunia flowers I love, love, love. And a sunflower flower. I was quite happy to find that they actually had sunflowers in stock, so that's more or less what I actually got for myself. A few more seedlings and the notes that I was talking about when it comes to the irrigation system. Managed to get those, and I couldn't resist, even though I hardly used gloves, but then hey, it is what it is. And yeah, one of the things that I'll be doing just now, I'm going to be using those protective structures. I'm going to move these guys after I give them some more water. Seedlings I water twice a day, so I'm going to move these seedlings today as well, water them and use those protective structures to actually cover them where I am where I'll be letting them sit for a while. Because here's my challenge in here. That's my challenge in here. They are everywhere, so it's been just a day. As you can see, they're still nicely behaving, but then after a few days, and if there's a lot of wind, when you come in here you find there's just a lot of bees on top of the plants. So ideally I would really like to just move these seedlings to a place whereby it doesn't get affected by these, and just let them be. And also I'm thinking I'm actually going to need this space because both my potting table and my planting station are filled with seedlings. So ideally I would want to get this place nice and clear on top so that I can work there. So I'm moving these guys, watering them first, moving them, and using the protective structures to nicely put them someplace else, then coming back to clear this place, clean it nicely.